Hello, friends, family, new friends who I haven't met yet. This is my first video on YouTube, and I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Lily, and I'm very happy to be here amongst you. I have been watching YouTubers, especially booktubers, for quite some time, and they give me great joy. And because they're sharing something that they love, and it's something that I love, and I feel like we really connect in that way, even though we've never met. So it's like having a whole community of friends. It's quite nice. I love it. So that's why I'm making this channel. It's just to share my love of reading, maybe a few other things along the way, some crafting, quilting, board games, and just my journeys in life. And maybe I'll introduce you to my dogs. You'll probably hear them at some point. 2 beagle mixes, so they tend to bark at anything and everything. And I also have 4 daughters, one of who lives here with me still. She is 23 now, and the other ones have left home, left the nest, and doing their own things. So now I just wanted to share some of the books that I've read so far this year, and I guess we'll just delve right into that. So I've read a few graphic novels this year. I do enjoy graphic novels. It's one of the things that I like as a quick read, something that will, if I'm in a reading slump, I'll throw in a graphic novel in the middle of novels, and it really helps me keep going. So some of the ones that I've read this year so far is Far Sector by N.K. Jemisin. And this is a Green Lantern novel, but you do not need to know anything about the DC Universe to read it. It is very good. It's great sci-fi, a wonderful story, very interesting. It's a whole new culture, a whole new world that she goes to. It's definitely worth the read. Far Sector. I gave that 5 stars because I enjoyed it so much. This is volume 1 that I've read. It's called Ghosted in LA. It's about a young girl who moves from her hometown. She leaves her friend behind, and her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she ends up in LA. She's in school. She's very lonely. She ends up going to this house that ends up to be haunted by ghosts that she can see and talk to. So this is the first volume of her getting to know the ghost and helping them out with different things that they can't do on their own. Meanwhile, trying to keep their secret, which she's not great at. But anyways, it's fun. It's enjoyable. So I read that one. And then I also read the graphic novel of Animal Farm, a classic book. I don't think I've read this in a long, long time. So I thought, why not just read the graphic novel? It is so, so good. I mean, the pictures are very it's almost like you're reading like a children's book, but with such a deeper, story to it, as you know, from having read Animal Farm, I'm sure. It's fantastic. I have a few more graphic novels that are also classics that I'm looking forward to reading as well. I have 1984 that I want to read. And I have a few Octavia Butler ones. I think I have Kindred and The Parable. Those 2 I'm definitely looking forward to reading as well. I know they're going to be fantastic because I have read the novels and they are fantastic. I read this book. This is I guess a tween or children's book. I got this from the library. It is called Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. So this takes place after The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is after they get married, and the stories of what happens. It's actually really quite good. So she journeys to another world where she meets someone that looks like her. And so who could that be? Anyways, it's very interesting. I really liked it. It's a really sweet book. If you have teenagers or even children who are a little bit older who have seen this movie and really enjoyed it, they will probably enjoy this book as well. From the library, I also got Black Candle Women. This is the story, I believe, of 4 generations of women or 3 generations of women who have been cursed, basically, to live a life of anyone that they fall in love with dies. So this is their story of, it's basically a novel of family secrets, people keeping secrets, and which causes more harm in the end. So it's really about opening up, coming together, and getting rid of this curse that is on their family. It's a little bit of a slow read. I did enjoy it. It is a good book. I did not give it 5 stars. I don't remember what I gave it, probably 3.5 or 4 stars. But either way, it is a good book. I did enjoy it. It just took me a little longer to read than I would have liked. And that's by Diane Marie Brown. And then one that I borrowed from my daughter, Kiana. She has a room full of books. Someday I'll have to give you a tour. It's lovely. Most of her books are Marvel or independent graphic novels, and Star Wars. Everything Star Wars. So although I don't really read Star Wars books, she did give me this one that she thought I would enjoy, called Ronin. It's a Visions novel. So if you watch Visions, which is little tiny shorts in the Star Wars universe, this is an expanding on one of those little shorts, and it's good. I liked it. I liked the first half much more. I gave it a 3 star. Enjoyed it. All right. So some of the other books I've read this year are these two. It comes up book 1, The X-Hex, and book 2, The Kiss Curse. These are by Erin Sterling. I love little cozy things like this, like cozy witch stories, supernatural stories, especially mixed in with a little bit of mystery and maybe a little bit of romance, which is what these are. And I actually really enjoyed them. They were better than I thought they would be. This one especially. I thought this one was excellent. And I'm looking forward to the 3rd one in the series. I've also read Love and Gelato, which is a sweet, I believe it's a YA book. And it is about a girl who loses her mother to cancer. And she goes on a trip to meet who she assumes is her biological father. And it may be, may not. It's not really clear. But anyway, she goes to Italy. She finds new friends. She, dives into a new culture, a new language. And just discovering who her mother was as she receives like a journal that her mother wrote when she was in Italy when she was younger. And she discovers a lot of secrets and a lot of interesting things about her mother that she had no idea about. This is another book where there's a lot of secrets within the family. And it does cause a little bit of resentment, especially after the fact when she passes and her daughter realizes that there were all these secrets that she never told her. But it is a very sweet book. I really enjoyed it. There's 2 more I have in the series, but I believe they follow different people and they take place in different places. Like I said, you will be introduced to my dog at some point, and there he is. He sees another dog probably passing by the window. Calvin, you want to come here? Good boy. Come here. So, come here. Did you see another doggy? Come here. Come say hi. You want to say hi? Come here. Oh, you're so big. Oh, you're so big. Show that cute little face. There. Anyway, this is Calvin. He is part Beagle and part probably Jack Russell. He's a little rescue from Kentucky. No more barking, baby. Okay, and I also read The Unhoneymooners. This is a rom-com about 2 people who don't love each other at all. They, in fact, I would say it is a hate to love, or I know there's a trope saying for that, hate to love or something, but it is, it's funny. I enjoyed it. Again, communication. But otherwise you wouldn't have all these great novels and books if everyone was communicating all the time, would you? Okay, so now I have these 2 that I read. I had read, this is a series. I read the first one, which is, oh my goodness, Finlay Donovan. Can't remember the name of the first book. But anyways, this is Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead. This is book, oh yes, so the first book is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. And this is Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead, which I've read this year. Finlay Donovan is Killing It, I read in December. And this one I believe in January. And then this one I read in February. Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun. And I read this one for a book club that I'm in called the Literally Dead Book Club, hosted by Kayla, who is amazing. She's a fellow Canadian, and I love her Booktube channel. I watch it every minute that I can. It's wonderful. So I loved the first one. The first one was 5 stars. Second one was 4 stars. Third one, 3 stars. There's another one coming out. Let's hope it's not 2 stars. Let's hope they continue getting better. So the next book I read is Dead Dead Girls, and this is a Harlem Renaissance mystery. I think I gave this like 3 stars. The story was good. The writing was not bad. And I have another book that I will read. I will read the next book. I did enjoy it. So I will continue to read on. I have book 2 of this series. And then I read some more graphic novels. This is number 1, 2, and 3 of Lore Olympus. Let's see if I can get those in the video. Lore Olympus. I really enjoyed these. This is about Persephone and Hades and their relationship. And some other things happen in here with lots of different characters. I really like the way it's drawn. They use different colors for each different character. So you know, like, oh, this pink person is so-and-so, the purple person is so. I don't know. I really like the way that they did that. The art's beautiful. The story is well written. So let me just read the warning. It says content warning from the author. Lore Olympus regularly deals with themes of physical and mental abuse, sexual trauma, and toxic relationships. And it does. So this is a heavier graphic novel, but also in the same way, it's also very cute and fun. So I do recommend this if you like, Greek legend. The next book that I've read is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Now, this one, I got it for Christmas from my daughter. I was going to hold off on reading this. I'm doing a buzzword of the year. So each month has a different buzzword and you read one. And this was going to be, I don't remember what it was going to be, for secret or something. But I couldn't wait. So I went ahead and read it. And I found it way more enjoyable than I thought I would. I already love these cozy, witchy, mystery type books. I've already loved them. This one, actually, I cried. Like, this one, it really, it resonated with me personally in a way I didn't think it would, because it's not talking directly to my experiences, but something about it just really, it resonated with me, and I found it beautiful, and I loved it to the very last page. So I would say on this one, the hype for this one was real, at least for me. I loved it. And this book I read for our March Club pick, which with the Literally Dead book club, was The Spite House. This is a book written by Johnny Compton. I believe it's his first book, and not everyone loved it that much. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I like stories of creepy houses and ghosts and creepy kids and all that. I really enjoy it. So I thought this was a fantastic book. I read it through very quickly, and it's not that long. It's pretty short. And for a debut book, I would say it definitely is good. I enjoyed it more than I think some people did. But I would have to say I would definitely read more from this author. And I would recommend this book to someone who enjoys horror and creepy houses. My favorite read so far of the year has been Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This one blew my mind. It was so good. I loved everything about it. Like the cover, the writing, the story, the way the romance was written, the adventure in it. It's beautiful. I can't wait to read book 2, which I have. I'm so excited. I highly recommend you pick this one up. It's so good. Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Like I said, so far, one of my favorites for the year. Another one that I read that I really enjoyed, especially the first half, the writing is amazing, Age of Vice. I got this as one of my book of the month reads, and it is fantastic. Love the story, love the way it's written. It tells the tale of a young boy who goes from absolute poverty and gets sent away from his home to basically be, a houseboy, basically a slave, no pay, and he gets raised in these environments, and he goes from different situation to different situation, kind of going up in the world and meeting these people from, going up and meeting the mafia of India, of the parts of India where he's in. And it gets into quite the story. There's a lot going on in this book. But it's easy to follow. Another of Book of the Month Club books that I have here that I read is Lunar Love. This is a romantic novel. It was very sweet. It's basically about a girl who runs a matchmaking service in person based on the Chinese zodiac. And she meets someone else who they almost have like an immediate connection when they meet. But she doesn't know who he is, and he doesn't know who she is. And basically, he is opening another dating app that she feels is going to conflict. So she kind of goes undercover and does fake dating with him to see what's going on with his business. And we'll see how that turns out. But I liked this book. It was very well written. It was sweet. I learned a lot about, different cultures and the zodiac, which I thought was interesting. Well worth the read. And then, another Book of the Month pick. The Hacienda. This one I also enjoyed. This is also another creepy house, maybe a little bit haunted. This was another really good read. I enjoyed it. I had so many winners this year so far. I had very few duds. I mean, this one was fantastic as well. It's hard for me to not recommend these, but I have to. And then this one, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. When I picked this up, I wasn't exactly, obviously I knew it was about a haunted house. It's in the title, but I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I'm sitting in the living room reading. All of a sudden I get so giddy. And so I'm like, because this book went to a place that is one of my favorite, I don't know if you call it a trope or something that happens in scary movies and stuff. I don't want to spoil it. But basically it has to do with dolls / puppets. Anyways, I got so excited that this book was going to that place. I did not know that's where it was going to go. I didn't really read the synopsis to see exactly what it was. And man, I loved it. I gave this 5 stars. I enjoyed it so much. I understand if someone is not really into the killer doll / puppets or more of a bloody, gory, and it also gets very ridiculous. It's almost like a ridiculous era of comedies, comedy of errors, I guess, but with haunted house. And yes, as you can see, I loved it. I also read a few other books that are not here in person because I read them on my Kindle or I listened to them on Audible. One of the books I listened to on Audible was The Poppy War, the first book in the trilogy. That was a fantastic listen. I'm listening to the second one now. So far, that one's a little slower. I don't love it as much, but I'm not that far into it, so we'll see how it goes. What else did I listen to on Audible this year? Quite a few things. I would have to look up the whole list to tell you, but that's the one that's sticking out to me the most right now. I know I listened to a few Anna Green Gables books on Audible. Some of the ones I hadn't listened to before, which are some of the later ones in the series. Number 1 is always going to be a favorite of mine, but the other ones, some of them are not as good, for sure. What else? I don't remember. I read from my Kindle, I read a steamy romance called Hot as Puck. It is, I am a Canadian girl, so it's a sexy hockey player who fake dates his best friend to basically teach her about sex because she feels very unsure of herself in bed. But this story wasn't just steamy romance or throbbing parts. It was actually really well written. It was really sweet, and I actually really enjoyed it a lot. And I may even consider in this hot, this Hot Mother Puckers stories, I think they're called. There's like a bunch of them. Anyways, I read the first one and I found it quite fun. I enjoyed it. All right. Well, that's it for now. I'm really happy to be here with you. And I hope to share some more stuff with you eventually. Some more stuff that I read and some more stuff that I do. And Goodbye. Happy reading.